Good day, and thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth analysis video forecast discussion for the first of three-day heat wave here on Thursday, May 30th, 2013. And even though parts of the Delmarva, including Philadelphia, yesterday reached 90 degrees, the first heat wave, the first day of the three-day heat wave, will be upon us today. Temperatures this morning already in the upper 60s in the Hudson Valley, into the low and mid 70s already in northeastern New Jersey around Newark and around the city as well. Temperatures in the upper 60s right now with a southwest wind and very light conditions with a little bit of haze out there on Long Island. Temperatures already in the upper 60s and low 70s with super saturated dew points too in the mid to upper 60s across the region this morning. There is some haze out there and some broken clouds, but most of the sky cover is clear this morning, and that's going to allow the temperatures to rise precipitatively well through the 80s and into the low to the mid 90s in parts of urban northeastern New Jersey and the New York City, the lower Hudson Valley, and metro Philly during this afternoon. Surface map this morning, courtesy of WeatherRoanoke.com in Virginia. We have a frontal trough here. This is a thermal trough here, a weak thermal trough, which is setting up to the lee side of the mountains here across the Poconos into the Virginias. High pressure is in control right off the mid-Atlantic coast and streaming southwesterly winds and very warm, humid conditions up through the northern mid-Atlantic and all of the east coast. Surface warm front now well into northern New England and away from the area. So today, with subsidence, a thermal trough, and very strong ridging across the region, temperatures are going to skyrocket. Watches, warnings, and advisories this morning. We do have an air quality alert for New Jersey Environmental Protection for air quality Thursday for Middlesex County and other counties here in these brown shadings here. It means that conditions will become unhealthy for sensitive groups, including children, people suffering from asthma, heart disease, or other lung diseases, and the elderly. The effects of air pollution can be minimalized by avoiding strenuous outdoor activities and staying inside near air conditioning, obviously. And we do have some small craft advisories here for the seas here. This is not for the immediate sound, but for the seas this afternoon until 2 o'clock. And that's southwest winds at 5 to 10 knots, southwest winds at 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots this afternoon, seas 3 to 5 feet, subsiding to 2 to 4 feet. Basically, we're going to have winds from the southwest at 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots during the afternoon hours right through the weekend with seas 2 to 4 feet. Also for the open ocean waters from Sandy Hook to Moriches Inlet out to 20 nautical miles, seas 3 to 5 feet through this afternoon. Water vapor loop and also overlaid with the 700 or 500 millibar analysis. We see our high-pressure ridge off the mid-Atlantic coast building with heights. These disturbances moving over the top of the ridge. The warm front now well into southern New England, keeping our area high and dry with very little precipitation. A weak thermal trough setting up here across the Appalachians during this afternoon, late this morning and this afternoon, being part of a focal mechanism for an isolated shower or thunderstorm widely scattered. But other than that, we're expecting mainly dry conditions with heat soaring into the low to the mid-90s today, tomorrow, and Saturday as well. GF forecast in motion. Here's our high-pressure ridge off the mid-Atlantic coast, pumping in very warm atmosphere. Southwesterly winds during the afternoon, warning right through the weekend, with very little, if any, precipitation, but very hot and humid conditions. Dew points in the mid-60s, air temperatures in the low 90s, getting into the 70s at night, upper 60s inland. Comes more cloud cover as we reach into, this would be for Sunday night and Monday morning. This is a very strong upper level low, well, basically a surface low here across southeastern Canada, dragging a strong cold front through the region during the day on Monday. Now, the timing of these showers and thunderstorms will be evident from northwest to southeast or from west to east across the region Sunday afternoon right through Sunday night. And it looks like the main part of this will be during the day on Monday. That would be for in the morning hours as this cold front stalls out or actually just slows up. And numerous showers and thunderstorms could be training over the same locations from Sunday night right through Monday and Monday night. And that could lead to very high amounts of rainfall across the region, especially during the morning hours and nighttime hours, late Monday afternoon into Monday night. And if this holds true, that means we could have some localized urban and street flooding as well as small stream or flash flooding across the region. Maybe not river flooding, but definitely some localized flash flooding too, and we'll just have to monitor this. And then after this front moves through, dry air, cool Canadian high pressure setting up from southeastern Canada all the way through the New England states. And this would be for Tuesday, Wednesday, and also Thursday and Friday. Notice the high here, and the wind's becoming more towards the east-southeast as it moves off the mid-Atlantic coast, and then dams across the region here, blocking this surface low across the Great Lakes and cold front 2 from moving too far to the east. But eventually it will give way. And what the model showed yesterday is a little piece of tropical energy here, a little bit of a surface low here, with a lot of rain on the western panhandle of Florida, joining forces here with a southwesterly wind on the backside of this high. And if this holds true, that means that some of this precipitation eventually gets in here for late next weekend, and that could mean some very, very localized heavy rainfall late next weekend. And the model has definitely slowed up the progression of this. So next weekend might not be as bad going into the weekend as it is coming out of next weekend. And the official hurricane season begins on Saturday, June 1st actually, but already in the Pacific we have Tropical Depression Barbara. It's advisory number 8, maximum winds at about 30 knots, 35 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure is 1,000 millibars. It's located at 17.8 north, 93.9 west. The movement to the north at 7 knots, which is about 8 miles an hour. Elsewhere, we have shower and thunderstorm activity remaining disorganized in association with an area of low pressure located about 600 miles south-southwest of the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. The environmental conditions do not favor significant strengthening, and there is some potential for the systems to still become a tropical depression overnight or on Thursday. As it moves northeast at about 10 miles per hour, the system has a medium chance of becoming a cyclone during the next 48 hours. On the aviational deck this morning, we're going to find basically broken clouds and scattered clouds, a few scattered clouds this afternoon through tonight and basically tomorrow morning. Right now we have visibilities better than 8 miles, 8 to 10 miles. Air temperatures already at 74 in Newark, dew point 67. So scattered clouds, very little in the way of precipitation right through tonight and early tomorrow morning. And Rip Current Awareness Week from the National Weather Service is going to be next week. Actually, it starts on Sunday. It runs through next week with public service announcements. They're also going to be at LBI next Tuesday to do a press conference for the media. The surf zone forecast from the National Weather Service beaches for eastern Monmouth, Atlantic coastal Cape May, and Atlantic coastal Ocean, New Jersey. Sky weather today, sunny, low to mid 80s, southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Surf zone around 3 feet, swells at around 3 feet. Surf temperature in the 50s to lower 60s. Rip current risk is low. However, strong currents can occur near piers and jetties. Rip currents are possible elsewhere, especially during the lower portion of the tide cycle. Swim in areas where lifeguards are present and talk with them about the hazards in the surf zone. There is no threat of lightning today. Tidal information at Atlantic City, high tide 12:09 a.m., low tide 6:38 this morning, high tide 12:52 this afternoon, low tide again at 6:55 this evening. So be mindful of the elderlies and pets and anyone who's susceptible to breathing problems during the next couple of days. Drink plenty of non-alcoholic beverages, and please take rest in shady areas when you feel exhaustion from the heat. Otherwise, be careful out there and enjoy this heat wave, the first of the season. We'll be back bright and early with you on Friday morning with the weekend details, and next week as well. For GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a great Thursday.